recognized symbol of excellence for your entertainment.
I think Devo's the greatest.
Here is Devo!
Devo.
1980 was an excellent year. Devo had a huge hit that year.
All right, listen up, party girl. Either Johnny gets to open for Devo or we're out of here.
I said whip it.
Do I remember the dog? Is that a Devo?
Never mind that now.
Now is the future.
Welcome to Machino Music Music, a show that puts some music in Machino Music, with your host, me, Brett Strong. Today on Machino Music Music, I'll be showing and telling my Devo stuff. Now it can be told. The truth about de-evolution. We're all Devo! Good afternoon, everybody. Devo stuff, yeah! A lot of Devo stuff. I've done a few of these stuff episodes where I show and tell just merchandise and albums and all kinds of stuff that I could find that I've accumulated over the years of some of my all-time favorite bands. And Devo is one of my all-time favorite bands. Yeah, just always love Devo. And according to YouTube algorithm, I should be doing nothing but Devo shows. The most punk Devo songs episode that I did got more views than any other episode I've done. So, I mean, if I'm following the rules, every show should be about Devo. I can't do that, everybody, because I want to talk about other things. I know a lot of you probably like if I talked about nothing but Devo, but, or, you know, you also like Ozzy Osbourne, apparently I should be talking about that, and Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne with Black Sabbath, all the, you know, those are the things. The Ramones and Blondie are other ones that I should be talking about, and Lady Gaga is another one that's doing really well. But I want to talk about other things, everybody. But I'm doing a Devo show today because I got a lot of Devo stuff. So yeah, let's get right into it here. I should get this out of the way because this is just, it's so big and yellow. But yeah, the Devo suit. This was got from their fan club back when, you know, like they used to have fan clubs. Like you could send away for like mail away stuff. Now there's like, they don't really have that now. There's so many different ways of doing it. I don't think there's like any physical like mail away fan clubs anymore. I'm not sure. But I know that this was like probably like late 90s, early 2000s. Got this Devo suit. So cool. Look at that. I won't put the jacket on because it's really crinkly, as you can hear. So, that down. Here are the pants. Tore the pee-pee right out of these. Yeah. Crotch is torn right out. I wore them in a music video for a school project many years ago. And, yeah, I managed to tear the crotch out of them. So, yeah, that's the Devo suit. So cool. Of course, the Energy Dome hat. Really cool. Got this also from the fan club along with the suit. I can wear the hat, but it won't stay on my head. It'll fall off. But yeah, the iconic Energy Dome hat. Should get one of those, like the thing they put for the construction helmet. That's how they kept it on. But yeah, so cool. Got the hat. People call them flower pots, but it's actually, well, it's an energy dome. But it's like a flower, and this was actually, I think, Gerald Casale said that he saw this design on like a lamp or like a light fixture. And I've seen in like I believe in the documentary Pee-wee as Himself, the Pee Wee Herman documentary, there was a lamp that he had, and just the background of it, they were showing, I guess it was his first house. And they showed this. He had this as a lamp. So, yeah, it was like a fixture. And Devo said, hey, we're making that into a hat. So, really cool. Yeah, all the albums here, of course. We'll go through them. Are We Not Men? We Are Devo, the debut. Duty Now for the Future. Probably my favorite Devo album, if you're going to ask me. Freedom of Choice. Of course, the big breakthrough album had the biggest hit, Whip It. Although people are coming back around to Devo, I mean, really, are they so much of a one-hit wonder now? I think people are starting to say, hey, this band had a lot of great tunes. New Traditionalist, which I think is the album where they truly, okay, now they're a new wave band. These two, Freedom of Choice and especially New Traditionalist. This one is signed, as you can see. This is from the fan club. That says, I believe, Mark Devo, Mark Mothersbaugh signed that. Really cool. And it's a promotional copy as well. So they just I guess they just kind of grabbed it. Oh No, It's Devo, another one of my favorite ones. Love this record. Really synthy, really new wave. Quintessential new wave. Now, just like, really, that's an essential new wave. Shout, another one I really like. A lot of people kind of dump on it, and I kind of give me some flack because I put it ahead of the debut sometimes. Sometimes I just feel like listening to Shout. I like this record. Total Devo, another one not bad. I did a whole Devo album ranking. You can go back and watch that. Smooth Noodle Maps. And of course the last album that they've put out to date of all new songs. Something for Everybody. Really cool. Yeah. All the records there. Also just pulled this out. This is the Wipeouters. This was just a sort of a side project, but they put Devo on it, so I kind of include it as a Devo album. It's just all surf tunes, like Devo style surf tunes. It's only Mark Mothersbaugh, Bob Mothersbaugh, and Robert Casale. So Gerald Casale's not on this. He had his own side project, Jihad Jerry. I don't have any of those records. Are very difficult to find, but this I was able to find. And some of these, even though they're difficult to find, I mean, you can come across them. And I include this in my Devo album ranking just because. Just for fun. This one is the album that got me into Devo. Saw them on the Wayne and Garth Saturday Night Live Wayne's World Music A Go-Go special. Who is this band? And then saw Devo Greatest Hits in my local record store. I believe it was at Music World. We had a chain of music stores here in Canada called Music World. Great record store. Closed down, I think, like early 2000s. Around like 2002 or 3, something like that. And yeah, I got this at Music World. Yeah, love this. This got me into Devo. This was like the big one. Devo Greatest Hits. They also had Greatest Misses, which were songs, I guess, that kind of been hits. Or maybe they would have wanted to have been hits, but just didn't break through. A lot of kind of weirder songs. I never had that one. I kind of disappeared after a while. Hard to find. But yeah, I like Greatest Hits. Life-changing record. The Devo Easy Listening Disc. Extremely rare. This was their attempt. What they did is, instead of playing other bands' music, which like at the beginning of a concert, you'll hear like over the speakers, you'll hear somebody you'll hear like, just play music, and they'll be playing like somebody else's. It's like, that's cool, okay, it's like, you know, background music. But Devo said, well, screw that. We're not going to do that. Why would we promote any other band? So what they did is they went and they made their own elevator music, like a Muzak versions of their songs. So they played it before, like as you're filing in, as you're saying, you have like, and if you tune it out, you won't notice. But if you start to kind of like, what is that tune? What is it? You realize, hey, wait a minute, that's, you know, that's Girl You Want. That's Whip It, you know, like, it's really strange that they did it, but it's so Devo, so cool. And really the only band I think that ever did something like that. Provide their own background music, Muzak versions. Of course, the hardcore albums. Hardcore Volume 1, Hardcore Volume 2. When I did my most punk Devo songs, most of the songs, majority of the song came from these records. I mean, this is their most punk. This is their most raw. And Volume 1 has a glotto, which if you're going to say Devo's a punk band, like truly say they're a punk band and not the quintessential new wave band, all you got to do is put on a glotto. and you'd be like, whoa, hey, especially if you have no idea it's Devo, you'd be like, who is this? Who's this punk band I've never heard of? And you tell them it's Devo, and that song is a glotto. Great song. Probably, I would say the most punk song they ever did. This one really cool. Yeah, the hardcore records, really awesome. A couple live records. This is the Devo Live. When was this? From 1992. It's really cool. 3 different shows. Max's Kansas City, one of the other great punk rock clubs. It was CBGB's, and then down the street there was Max's Kansas City. A lot of same bands. Ramones played there. Blondie played there. Devo played there. And they were kind of thrown out. People didn't even like... People didn't really like Devo. I think they probably went up better in Max's Kansas City. I can't remember which one on here. There's The Crypt in Akron, Ohio. That show. One of these, I think it might be the Crypt show, where you hear like these like drunk cowboys coming up on stage and it's like, hey, what the hell is this? And get into a fight with these cowboys. Yeah. Also the WHK radio concert, Cleveland, Ohio, Halloween 1975, so pretty early show there. A lot of songs that they never did on anything else. Some early studio versions with a few others, like especially the 75 show, Subhuman Woman. That wasn't on any other album. Beulah. Yeah. This is my favorite live album of all time. Now It Can Be Told. Devo Live at the Palace from 1988. I just love this. This is my all-time favorite live album. The version of Jocko Homo on here, where they do it like as like a country ballad, is one of the most amazing things. One of my all-time favorite Devo songs. Of course, the original Jocko Homo, the studio version, is iconic. But this live version, it's just so different, so Devo. They de-evolve their own song into... Yeah, it's like doing a cover of their own song. Of course, what they did, they mutated I Can't Get No Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones. Very famous cover. I mean, the first time a band ever kind of took something and did like something totally different with it. And they do that with their own song, Jocko Homo. That was a big spit I just did right there because I'm so excited. I love this live album. Weird, I don't know what that face is, like a big rock moon face. So cool. Yeah, Devo. This is exciting. Okay, what else? Got this 50 Years of De-Evolution. This came out, when was this? 2023. 1973 to 2023 to their 50th anniversary collection. Really cool. Got a few outtakes on here, which is really cool to have. I mean, it's a greatest hits, but it's got a few like stuff that just weren't released on any other greatest hits. Like you get their version of Bread and Butter, originally by the New Beats, kind of a goofy great. Used to be on those compilations, so you get that really cool. Their song Let's Talk, which I believe was on the Fright Night soundtrack, so it's really cool. One Dumb Thing, which I believe was an outtake from Oh No, It's Devo. You get Dr. Detroit. Getting a studio version of Dr. Detroit is great. Yeah. It Takes a Worried Man you get on here. Yeah. Some really cool outtakes on, especially on Disc 2. Disc 1 is mainly just like studio tracks, stuff that are on other albums. But yeah, a lot of gems on the Disc 2 on this really cool collection. Look at these pictures. So great. Look at that. 50 years of Devo. So amazing. Great compilation. Some more compilations here. These were like these two for ones. So you kind of get like, it's like this is Oh No, It's Devo and Freedom of Choice together, which has the outtake Turn Around, which is a great song. That's kind of a punk Devo song. I should put that as an honorable mention, most punk Devo songs. A song a lot of people have forgotten about. Nirvana did a cool cover of that. Because Kurt Cobain, he was a big Devo fan, like a lot of punk and new wave he was into. And yeah, he did a cover of Turn Around, really cool. Also, this one, which is Duty Now for the Future and New Traditionalist, I don't think there is an outtake song on this. Yeah, pretty much just the, looking through this, yeah, I think it's just the regular studio album. Then you get like a surprise, like, hey, what's Turn Around? And there's also a Dance Velocity remix of Peekaboo, it says on here. Got this. This was a computer game that Devo did. Adventure of the Smart Patrol. This is a soundtrack from 1996. Extremely rare. Just picked this up. This is mostly my brother's stuff. My brother's like, just like me. He's like a massive Devo fan. So a lot of these are his. But yeah, he picked this up at a record store. He's just like looking for Devo, and like, hey, wait a minute, what is this? Same as with the Wipeouters. It's one of those things you just see or randomly in the Devo section of record stores back in the day. And yeah, this was a computer game that they did, Adventures of Smart Patrol, and this was the soundtrack. Mostly like a lot of studio tracks. I mean, there's stuff like Mechanical Man is on here, Peekaboo, Beautiful World, Whip It, Freedom of Choice, and Jocko Homo, of course. But then you get some like these weird songs like The Spirit of JFK, which is just like, it's just kind of this really synthy, like new wave track, and it's like kind of got a dance beat to it, like a kind of modern 90s dance beat, but it's just quotations of John F. Kennedy. Really cool, Spirit of JFK. You Got Me Bugged, which is really cool. A remastered version of You Got Me Bugged, because the one that's on the hardcore, you can barely hear what Mark's singing, because it was like just very poorly recorded. This is probably the best version of You Got Me Bugged. Like, it was just mixed very well, so you can actually hear it. Maybe they re-recorded it. I'm not sure exactly. That's what he said. I mean, some outtakes on here, some rare songs. And it's I'm not sure who the group is. I'm not sure if it is. Let me just see here. Excuse me. Let's look. I haven't looked at this in many years. Yeah, who are? It just says performed by Devo. Oh, performed by Brian Applegate. Okay. And the Smart Patrol. I'm not sure who the Smart Patrol was exactly. But yeah, here's what the liner notes. It's like, yeah. Yeah, and it was a computer game, a CD-ROM, a computer. Remember those? CD-ROM? You'd be able to put the thing into your computer. Now that laptops don't even come with a CD-ROM drive, nothing. Yeah. So there you go, that's that. The Devo Recombo DNA book, a whole history. This is basically the biography of Devo. So cool. One of my favorite music biographies. So great. But it's the story of Devo, or how the 60s became the 80s. Fantastic. Just love this book. I devoured this book when I got it. It's so good. All right, some DVDs and videos and stuff. A lot of these. So we got Truth About De-Evolution. This was from probably from late 80s, maybe early 90s. It was it's a very early laser disc, because Devo was on everything. Because before there was DVD, there was a laser disc. Big, like a vinyl record, only was a giant CD. A giant DVD. Before they said, hey, we can make these a lot smaller and fit everything onto one side. At least for the most part. Some of the bills. We don't even talk about that. But yeah, this is great. It's a lot of their music videos. Pretty much all their music videos. Had the Dr. Detroit video, which is really cool. Actually, no, it doesn't have Dr. Detroit. Just looking on here. Yeah. Yeah, there's no... Okay, we'll get to that. I do have one with Dr. Detroit. But, yeah, this just goes up to Postmodern Man. Really cool. There's a commentary track. You get to hear Mark Mothersbaugh and Gerald Casale do an audio commentary talking about the music videos. just amazing. If you're a Devo fan, this is like a treasure trove of stuff. And the special features are fantastic. Like, it's just like photos, memorabilia, anecdotes, so many things. There's an extra bonus video of Mongoloid, which I think wasn't included in the actual thing because I don't think it actually produced it themselves. But it's a bonus video. Yeah, great. Hardcore Devo Live. They played the hardcore albums. Different tracks from the hardcore albums. So cool that this was released. A couple extra songs that weren't on those. A song called Beehive, I'm just noticing. Okay. But yeah, really cool. I haven't watched this in a while. It's great. I made this myself. These are two Devo concerts I found here on YouTube. 3 Devo and Butch Devo in the Sundance Gig. Really cool. I made this for my brother as a Christmas present because he didn't know these existed. So I said, hey, I made this for you. And I tried to do fancy dancy cover art and even listed all the tracks here on the back. See? It's a thought that counts. Devo Live 1980, really cool. It's like the Freedom of Choice tour. Yeah, so cool. Love these concerts. Another Devo Live, what is this from? It's like from Woodstock or something. What are Lollapalooza? Does it say here? Irvine Meadows, California. For some reason I thought this was Lollapalooza, but I don't know, maybe. But I didn't bother to look it up. But yeah, really cool. Love this. Yeah. Devo Live in the Land of the Rising Sun, Japanese concert from 2003. Really cool. Cool interviews on here. Devo shopping in Tokyo is a... Yeah, really cool. Threw this in, Dr. Detroit. I picked up a Blu-ray of Dr. Detroit. I wish it had the music video for Dr. Detroit on here. It does not. So screw that. Why? Where's the Dr. Detroit video? It's not, but still cool. It's still part of Devo history. This movie. Had my VHS tape that I showed before when I talked about punk and new wave movies, but I picked up the Blu-ray because you get an audio commentary track. And I'll close out here with these super obscure VHS tapes. Devo Vision. This was a movie that they made. This is a Devo movie. It's like a short film. It has mostly their music videos. And actually it's also got concert footage, so it's kind of a live concert film, which is really awesome. You get Wiggly World live. You get Praying Hands live when they're... I believe they're playing as Dove when they're doing it. And you get Uncontrollable Urge live. So it's a bit of a live concert film, which is really cool to have. And yeah, this is long out of print. It says 1979 when it was produced. It says 1989 Warner Home Video that was released. But yeah, this is super obscure. And then there's this one, which is also from around the same time. It's from 1990. From Rhino Video. Rhino Records. It says, We're All Devo. This has a Dr. Detroit video. At the time, it was the only one that had it, so it's really cool. This is kind of also a bit like Devo Vision, like has Rod Reuter, who's like their spoof of like a record executive, real slimy record executive. So it kind of picks up the same story from Devo Vision, The Men Who Make the Music. That's actually the official title, The Men Who Make the Music. And yeah, they have... it concludes, and it picks up and continues from here. Also get Lorraine Newman, the great Lorraine Newman, one of the early Saturday Night Live cast members as Donut Rooter, Rod Rooter's daughter, who's actually a Devo fan. Really cool. Nobody was doing this stuff. Nobody was doing this stuff. So cool. These are out of print. So it's cool that I was able to dig those out. So yeah, this is all the Devo stuff that I could find. A lot of things. Massive Devo fan. As you can see, I've got all this stuff. Have a Devo shirt somewhere. The hell if I can find it. It was starting not to fit, so maybe that's a good thing, because I'd be hulking out of the thing. It would just rip, and that'd be, you know. But I got to get a new Devo shirt. That's something I have to do. But yeah. So there you go. If this is just some of the Devo stuff, a show and tell of all the things that I could find, and seems we got a lot of Devo fans around here. And if you're a Devo fan, I hope you enjoyed this. That's it for this week. Until we meet again, this is Brett Strong saying good journey.